the differences between Sage 100, Sage 100C, and Sage 100 Cloud are pretty simple. Sage 100 is the perpetual license, and that's what you've had, if you own the software and you're paying annual maintenance on the software that you own, basically you have what you have. You own the version you have, and you're paying your maintenance to your upgrades. And they're not really adding any new features to Sage 100, but they are going to upgrade your versions along with the other ones. Sage 100C is a subscription license, and that's really where the world wants us to go at this point. Whether it's Adobe or Microsoft or Apple or anybody else, everything is now going to subscription model. And Sage is no different. Sage is really wanting to go to the subscription model. So they're enticing us with some deals. They're enticing us with some additional features that are only available in C, as Alan kind of alluded to. And that's what that's really where they want us to go. Now, the next step they've done is they've actually renamed this year Sage 100C to Sage 100 Cloud. And I was like, again, what are they doing? Well, it's the same product, different names. It's still a subscription. It's still premise-based, but they're calling it C because C was supposed to say connected before. Now they want to say cloud connected, and now it's just cloud. So essentially, they're connecting Sage 100 to the cloud for a lot of the enhancements for the payroll subscriptions, for some of the other things we're going to look at here that are their own enhancements and third-party enhancements. So again, you're going to see all kinds of references to Sage 100 Cloud. That's really, really not what they're trying to do at this point. They're not moving us to the cloud. I don't see any evidence they're going to be forcing us to go to the cloud in the near future. It's just a matter of how they decided to name it, for better or for worse. So we thought we would get on top of that and get in front of you and assure you that they're not doing anything crazy. So to explain further how this basically works is, so you have your Sage, you have your database, whether it's Providex database or a SQL database on the back end of Sage, and that's where all your data is stored. On top of that, you've got your base modules, your premise-based, what you own, what's in-house, your GL, accounts receivable, payable, all your basic modules are there. Even your payroll module still resides on your system, even though it's subscription based. Now, on top of that, you have your connected services. The connected services would be like your payroll subscription, AP management if you have anything like that. Your shipping system, your web interfaces. That'd be an example of cloud applications. And actually, beyond that, your actual web integrations, website integrations, your complete third-party shipping systems. You're talking about your ISVs at this point. So you've got cloud applications that are connected to Sage in their cloud. You have your third-party desktop applications that are outside, and that's how they're doing it. So they're basically saying Sage 100C builds on top of Sage 100, which is exactly what it's doing. And, it's just adding different layers of where the information is stored. And again, so the way I'm looking at it is the Sage 100 Cloud is Sage 100C, which is connected. So I'm just, I keep reminding myself of what this actually is so I can explain it properly, because basically it's still your premise-based system, and your enhancements are added on through the cloud. So, nothing's really changed. Sage has always been cloud-friendly and able to integrate with third-party applications and their own enhancements in the cloud. And of course, if you choose to use the cloud, you can do that. There's several ways you can actually host your information in the cloud if you're in a position where you want to do that. And if you're interested in doing something, that we can certainly talk to you about it. There's pros and cons going each way depending on your unique situation. So that'd be an offline conversation for Alan or I or Jeremy.
So I'd like to point out at this point that so the solution that Sage is offering with 100 is really, you'll hear this terminology is a hybrid cloud. And that means where you're combining your on-premise system, and that premise could be, as Jim mentioned, you're in a server in your back office, or it could be a server that's hosted on the cloud. But the main point is you control your data, and you control the applications and where the applications are installed and when the applications get updated or changed, and what changes you want to make to your specific app, and the rest is operation as normal. So what's the next slide?
So the next slide is just a little more of that. I mean, basically, why go with Sage100 Cloud? Well, it's still an excellent product. Having shopped around several times as a business owner, I still believe the value for what you get in Sage and what the capabilities are the best in the industry. There's just nothing out there that's even close as far as the capabilities for what you get at the price point we're at. So, I think that one of the reasons that they've done this cloud integration, this kind of opening up of the architecture a little bit, is because it's such a good fit, and there's so many verticals. There's so many ISVs that are building so many enhancements. The only way to do this was to set it up so it could be cloud connected, and that's what we've done. And there's several examples of that we're gonna talk about here as we move on. Some of the connected services. I know Alan's had some seminars on AP automation. I've done some things with Office 365. E-commerce. Sage100C manufacturing, which used to be Job Ops, which they've renamed to Sage100C Manufacturing, which I think is a good move. It's a little more explanatory as to what it does. The multi-bin's part of the barcode solution that's out there that allows you to use multiple locations for any one product in one warehouse or more warehouses. And then the budgeting and planning function is going to be expanded here shortly, and that's going to be something that's going to be connected to give you additional tools. So why are they doing that? Well, it's convenience and collaboration. So you've got convenience that you can access your information pretty much anywhere you need to on any device you want, and the ability to collaborate both with your peers, your coworkers, and the ISPs themselves to get the information you need. So, and that's where the entire world's going. We're just making everything work together. Some of the common things that are now cloud connected are, Payroll. Payroll is now a subscription module, so it's connected to the cloud to get the updates it needs to be got. HRMS, which is I believe called Sage People now. That's another one that is connected basically, so you have an HR piece where you're onboarding, offboarding. All of your employee forms are managed there. It's a really robust piece of software that's available, that's again connected to Sage through the cloud. SIA is Sage Inventory Advisor. We have people that are using that and love it, and it's basically an inventory monitoring system that helps you optimize your inventory, and I'll get into a little bit of detail about that later, but it's also cloud connected. Mobility for barcode, again, cloud connected because you're pulling from multiple warehouses and locations, through your Wi-Fi, through your internet to the cloud, back into Sage. AP management, there's several vendors out there doing things with that, and Alan's had a couple of conversations with people on that topic, and a couple of different vendors we've offered on that topic. Connected shipping, very popular. Starship's a popular one. ShipGear, there's others out there, but again, that all has a web component to it for the shopping and for the actual processing of the shipments. And website integration. So website integration we'll talk about a little bit more as we move on. Payroll, again, we talked about the automatic updates, automatic tax table updates, and all that is, come through the cloud. Resource management system, which is now Sage People, basically allows you to manage your entire human resources throughout your organization through one cloud portal. It reports back into Sage. The shipping and receiving automation, there's so many vendors out there now. These are some of the ones that work best with Sage, and we've done integrations with most of them. All of them have a web-based component because you're shopping your rates and you're doing your shipments actually across the web. Inventory management, Sage Inventory Advisor is it's a fantastic product for you guys that are tracking inventory. I love it. But basically, it's a cloud-based subscription. It basically looks at your inventory, your purchasing habits, and your sales needs to be, advises you when you need to buy things, advises you to identify trends, you can identify needs, and forecast your production and ultimately improve your profitability. Cloud-based solutions that we're offering at this point.
And it was one of the, it was actually...
You're not using it and you have inventory, definitely want to talk to us. Warehouse and production management, Sage100C manufacturing, they've just kind of done an overhaul on that. I'm personally trying to get my arms around all the changes, but you know, it's much more connected now than it used to be. There's a lot more to it, a lot more components that are functioning, and yeah, again, we're looking forward to working with our customers that are in manufacturing, light manufacturing environments to look at the rationale behind maybe implementing some of that in some of these sites. One of the other things that's happened, and this is something that kind of goes back to the ISVs and the need to have cloud connectivity. You know, Scanco, for example, is one of the independent vendors that now is kind of developing the barcode for Sage. So, you know, they've acquired the Sage mobility piece, and they're actually developing, you know, for Sage through a connected environment, the barcode module. And, you know, it's kind of like, we look at big, you know, look at the government, you know, the government, they're starting to realize that, you know, they can't do everything, and some things are better off to be subcontracted, and, you know, you'll have faster turnaround and better improvements, you know, in the open market. And that's kind of what's happened with the barcode module. And there's been so many changes and so many enhancements that, again, if you have barcode module now and you upgrade to 2018, you're going to see quite a bit in the way of improvement there. AP management, I know Alan's had a seminar on this. For those of you that don't know, you know, there's several vendors out there, including Sage themselves, that offer management solutions for your accounts payable, and that can be anything from purchase order and setting up workflows, setting up approvals or automated payments. And there are solutions to do everything, and there's solutions where you can choose pieces of this. So maybe there's one pain point in your organization that you don't have a workflow. Well, there's companies that will set up the workflow for you. You know, it's taking you forever to enter POs. There's places that enter the POs for you. So there's different pieces you can choose, and again, that's all cloud connected because you're communicating with another system that can enter things that will go back into Sage. That saves you a lot of time and money. On the accounts receivable, same thing. You've got companies out there, and actually banks that are out there that are offering services right now to handle your accounts receivable. So they'll look at your invoices, and they'll do your collections, and they'll run your credit cards, and they'll deposit your payments, and basically take that completely off your plate. Again, through your connection to the internet. So again, a good example of cloud connection saving a lot of money and resources. And, you know, the most popular and most people think about when they think about cloud connection is you know, website integration. And there's a million ways to do that. And, you know, Sage will connect anything, and they always have. It's, you know, not always been well known, but there's always been backdoor ways to connect into Sage and integrate websites, you know, whether it's a custom solution or any of the popular shopping carts out there. You know, we can tie into any of them. You know, from the front end sales piece all the way to writing back your tracking, your invoice information, and your payment and credit card information back into Sage. So there's just a million ways to integrate websites and any other third-party sites you want to. Again, that's something we can talk about offline a little more in depth. And that's really about all I have as far as presentation for, you know, what this is. The main thing I wanted to do again was to get across you know, the differences between the premise, the 100C, and the cloud system, and to, you know, show you what we can do with what we have. And please, you know, to take a deeper dive into any of these things or have any, you know, further questions answered or talk about some of these products, reach out to one of us. You know, we're here for you, and, you know, the entire Sage front end of the Sage team is up there on there for us to talk to you.